Today I'm going to be doing an unbiased review of the Polarna M4. The bike does weigh 60 pounds, so it is easy to move and can carry up to 360 pounds. If you notice in the back, it does have a rear rack to put stuff on. I do like that because it seems like everything we do, it'd be nice to put something somewhere, so that's definitely a plus right there. The front and rear fenders to keep you from getting slung with water and mud and dirt. It's got a headlight. Tail lights. And brake lights. Front brake. Back brake. Shimano 8-speed to shift the gears. And you got your display controls. Your thumb throttle. To turn this on, you have to put the key in the bottom where the battery is. It's a 12.5 amp hour battery, 48 volt in one click. It's got a color display. As you can see, we can change the power modes. 5 for the pedal assist and the throttle, which is the thumb throttle right here. If your bike is locked, it is very easy to unlock this bike. Literally just go in these two buttons. Display settings and advanced settings. You want to go down. See where it says speed limit? Go down, click on it, and you can change it. It was like way down here when I got it. It never even went that fast. I just turned it all the way up. That's it. And also I noticed is that the wheels were set at 26-inch wheels and the speed was so far off, it was ridiculous. So I did change it to 20-inch and the speed is almost exact going. So the speedometer is pretty much on point with GPS. All right guys, so we're gonna do the speed test on the Polarna M4. I'm not sure exactly how to say the dang name. It's like Polarna, whatever. I'm not gonna waste your time. Gonna turn this thing all the way up to number 5. And we're gonna see how fast this thing goes. Full throttle. Oops, forgot the kickstand. It's all there. 28 miles per hour is the fastest you'll go downhill. I'm gonna show you one thing I noticed with the throttle. Once you get going, it doesn't stop. Just get going. It's kind of scary. It's kind of like autopilot. It's kind of like autopilot. You let go of the throttle. It's still climbing. It's not stopping. What in the world? Look at that. I could literally jump off the bike and it'll keep going. No hands. Look. Oh my God, it's catching up speed. I learned you just do this. And it slows down. The seat is really uncomfortable. This is aftermarket seat, but it's like just pointed too far down. Not the seat's fault, it could probably be adjusted. We're gonna hit some ruts. See if I can get out. Barely. Yeah, I wasn't trying to do all that. That was my bad. Sorry, the person I borrowed the bike from. Look at that. What the heck? All right, I gotta give it. That's not really that cool of an idea, is having the throttle stuck. It is nice because a lot of times I'm tired of holding the throttle, or but that's sketchy. Just to have it keep going. If you need to slow it down, you're not paying attention, it doesn't slow it down by itself. It's just picking up speed. It's full throttle the whole time it stays in it. Like I said, it could be nice to have if you had a switch to turn that off and on, especially when you're cruising at a certain speed with everybody, so you can just kind of chill and it just cruises itself. But man, that is interesting. I guess it has its pros and cons there. Yeah, so that's the end of the speed test. As you saw, I ended up getting up to like 29 miles per hour. That was downhill, like serious downhill with a gust of wind. You're realistically going to go to about 28. I weigh about 160 pounds. Let's test the suspension down a little bit of grass. I'm not going to go as crazy as the last thing I went through. It's not that bad. Actually, it's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. All right, we're gonna see if we can get out of this. No problem, no problem. There's some momentum. Test out these bumps. Yep, I don't know what that was. Ugh, I'm going slow. Oh. I mean, it's got suspension, but I would definitely upgrade the rear suspension. The front's much better than the rear. Well, it's definitely better than no suspension. I'll say that. I mean, it does have suspension. It could be better, definitely. But you do have a folding bike here, so I wouldn't be expecting dirt biking this thing anywhere, or extreme off-road. And definitely more for the street and like light trails. One thing I will say is I would totally move this to the correct side. On your left-hand side of the throttle is so strange. I know the shifter's in the way. I would just move this whole shifter down and put the throttle right here. It can't happen. It's easily. Just unscrew with the Allen bolts. So if this was my bike, that's what I would do. I'd move this over here. I'd move this down because honestly, I'm not shifting at all. I don't need this. It's in my way. And you can't really put it over here because just the way it is. So putting that right there, you're going to use that throttle more than anything. Same with these brakes. I'd move the brakes down. Probably put the throttle first because you really only need your finger to hit the brakes. And this is like way out here. You don't need it all. So this isn't my bike, so I'm not going to do all that. So just showing some perks to it. It definitely doesn't have the oomph though. It's on number 5. I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna try to hold the bike back. Oh, they didn't like that. Yeah, this thing doesn't have much power going to 0. Once you start moving, well, you ain't holding it back then. I've never tried to unfold or fold this bike at all. I'm gonna attempt to do it. Let's see. Flip this around to show you. That's part of it, so that's one unlocked. Assuming I have to do this other handlebars too. All right. Different. All right, so you need to put this in your car. I guess it is possible. Let's put it back. So let's say you're gonna go riding, get to the place. No, it's pretty easy. Look at that. Seat straight. So, I would say it's not that bad. The bike does come with a charger. Plug it in right here, or you can take the battery out, slide out. I would just plug it in, it's much easier. It takes about 8 hours to charge fully if it's dead. After topping the battery off 100%, we rode this bike with full throttle, no pedaling. We got 21 miles till it died. It's still trickling, moving, but it just dies out. So I would say 21 miles is what you're gonna get if you're full throttle. You're pedaling probably a little bit more. Online, you can buy this bike for about 1,300 bucks. Honestly, in my review today, I would say it's not worth the money one bit. It is very slow. The power is very weak. It is a foldable bike. It is built pretty strong, but I think you could get a better deal than $1,300 for this bike. It's not the most comfortable thing to ride. It does fold out great, I'll give it that. And I think the main issue is the components they use in these bikes. I've seen multiple bikes now with these rims, these exact same rims. The Engway M2, some other bikes I've seen too, that have the same rims, and it seems like everybody's getting the same results. It doesn't go over 28 miles per hour, and it's a very weak, slow start. I think it's these wheels. They use them on all these different bikes, and they're just throwing these wheels and motors on everything. Bike's different, the wheels and the controller are the same, and I think that's a huge issue. And people buying a bike, they need to look out for these wheels, these mag wheels. If you see these wheels, I would say you're probably gonna not be very happy with the performance. I could be wrong, but it sure seems like it. This is the second bike now I've ridden with these exact same wheels, and I had the same problem. And I'm starting to put two and two together. So they keep saying this is a new bike, this is a new bike. It's not the new bike. It's a new frame with all the old components on it. So look out for these details. If not, try riding one. It may be fine for you. Some people, this is great. I ride stuff a lot more powerful than this. So I honestly was very unimpressed with the power. Once it gets up to speed, it does stay at speed at 20 miles per hour, so it will do what you want. But I think for the price, you can get for less than $1,000 a better bike. It may not fold, so if you need to fold for your car reasons, this might benefit you for that price, because it does fold very nicely. I'll give it that. And the suspension isn't terrible. It's not great either. I would definitely, this rear spring, I would get something way better. This thing sucks. The front, not bad, but it's definitely cheap forks. 100% cheap forks. All you have is off and on. Just lock, doesn't do anything, and then open. I mean, $1,300, guys, come on, like, you couldn't have done better. One thing I do like about the bike, which most of these bikes suck, are the gears on the actual pedaling. This has an 8-speed Shimano on it, and you can actually pedal it. I'll give it that. You can actually pedal this bike. If you die, you will be able to pedal this bike. I was able to, and with the power behind it, you can pedal it up to a pretty good speed. I think like 25 miles per hour, I was able to help pedal it without going really fast pedaling. A lot of times these bikes are around 10 miles per hour. You're not going any faster than that pedaling. It's just like, just free flow. You're not really doing anything but telling the motor to go. You might as well use the throttle. You're just moving your legs aimlessly. So that is a good plus on this bike. You can pedal it and be efficiently save the battery pedaling it. Being only a 12.5 amp hour battery, that's very small. I would definitely think you would need at least a 14 to 16 in that area, but it does work. 20 miles, most people don't go farther than 20 miles. So if you're gonna ride this around, it's gonna be perfect for you. If you're just around town trying to go farther, you better pedal or you're not gonna make it. The brakes are hydraulic disc brakes, but they are very small brakes. They do stop you very well though. I would say they're not the best, but they're not the worst. They do work. So this concludes a review of the Polarna M4. My final thoughts are, I wouldn't recommend it unless you really need a good sturdy folding bike. It does fold great. It does have a great rack on it. The speed shifting is actually very good on it compared to most e-bikes. I just am very unhappy with the power and the speed of it and the longevity. I think for $1,300 you can definitely get probably a better bike for the value and be way more happier. In the end, I really think a lot of this has to do with the components they use in these bikes. I think if they had put a better rim and hub motor, this thing could really rock it and be really fun. I want to thank my friend for letting me borrow this bike to do the review. I'm very sorry that I have to put bad words about it, but it is what it is, and I'm gonna be very honest on my review. I see why they don't really ride them that much is because they aren't that great. They're okay if you're traveling and you have very little space in a car and you need to put something somewhere. That's the only benefit of these bikes. They're not comfortable to ride. They're not the coolest looking thing. Just in the end, I wouldn't buy one. Doesn't mean you wouldn't buy one or somebody else wouldn't buy one. But if I was to advise somebody, I would tell them definitely look into maybe the newer version and make sure they don't have those wheels, because that is my only complaint about this bike is the power of this bike and the comfort of it. But that's all preference of changing the seat out, which this one actually has a pretty good seat on it. It just sits too low for me. The handlebars are really high up, actually kind of nice because you can stand up and ride with no issue. Thanks for watching this review on the Polarna M4. Man, that is one hard word to say. I could be saying it wrong. If you could say it better, let me know. But thank you for watching. Catch me on the next one. Subscribe and like the video. I appreciate it. Have a good one.